Hello and welcome to my next episode of Verdi's lecture. Today's episode, I'm talking about coaching in eSport. It's a very big topic, and I would like to give a sort of shout out, first of all, to all the coaches. You're doing an amazing job. And a shout out to all the wannabe coaches. Please leave the job. Don't be pretending whatever you're not. Because being a coach, there's a lot of things you have to take care, and there's a lot of things which you have to take into consideration. This is Verdi's lecture episode number 6, which I just found out. I will talk today about I'm a coach now, does it work? About coaching our old players, analyst, analytic coach, the mental coach, trainer, like we call it in Germany, like trainer, coach, trainer, it's like the same. Respect the coaches for what they are doing. And this is probably going to be the end, but I have a lot of bullet points going here in my list. So I will start now. I'm a coach now. I'm a coach now. I dropped out. I'm a coach now. That doesn't work. There were so many examples in the game of people like, okay, I'm a coach now. And they're standing behind the team and doing nothing but just looking good and wearing the jersey instead of being dropped out by the organization. In my opinion, they should have been dropped out by the organization because they're doing nothing. Being a coach is a tremendous workload. A coach needs to be sort of accepted by the team. And he needs to be declared by the team. He needs to be respected by the team. What are the working areas of a coach? Before you say something, you have to say, okay, what am I going to do now as a coach? There is so many kinds of different coaches. I will have two, which I will go more into. It's more the team mental coach. So the guy who's actually just prepping the guys, going into their issues, maybe going more into the personal way of, okay, there's your issue, you have to fix that in order to have that. This player too, you have this issue, we fixed that, you have to set up. So more the live gaming assistant coaching. And then we have the analytic coach. The analytic coach is more the guy who's building on strats, we call them analysts in eSport. There are a lot of analysts out there, but they're also sort of coaches because they go in, they write down strategies, they're based on their own players, they're writing down mistakes, giving them to the main coach, to the head coach, he's prepping the players, whatever. We can go so big. For example, in League of Legends, there's I think SK Telecom, they have like 5 analysts, 2 coaches, 3 coaches, 1 head coach and stuff. So it's huge. It's really huge. And you have to think there's a lot of things you can do. But going into other games like Rainbow Six Siege or Counter-Strike, there's not that much big coaching. There are analysts who are more the freestyle analysts. They're more being paid to work instead of being hired by an organization. So they're more like, okay, you have information, we buy the information. So it's also the mental coach or the head coach instead. Let's call him head coach. I think it's a better term. He is also there to yell at the players. So because sometimes the players can start to be divas, they can be bitchy, they can be like whatever they are not to. The coach has to keep them down and say, hey dude, this is your job, you have to do this. This is your position. It's not your team's mistake, it's your mistake. Live with it, get over it, do your thing. So he's the guy who's going into a break and telling the guys, okay, it was your mistake, but we have to work on it. You can do it. And he has to work on other things. But I will go into that in a different bullet point. We have the bullet point we start out with, coach equals old player. Well, that's not entirely true. An old player is not always a coach. We have examples like in soccer. We have successful player. We have the German national coach for the soccer team. He was a semi-good soccer player. He was a very aggressive player, but he was not the guy that was, okay, everyone remembers him because he did so good things, he played so awesome. No, but he's a very good coach. So his style of practicing the team seems to be really good. So this is a way of different things. The same as Kassat. Kassat, the former coach of Mouse Sports in Counter-Strike Go, who's now coach in Renegades. he was not that kind of big deal as a player, but he's a very good coach. He's like, wow, what a coach. He's like really good. So you have to think about, like, not always the old pro players who have been really awesomest are those are the best coaches. No, that does not mean anything. For example, if you look at Zonix from Astralis, he was an awesome player, but he's also an awesome coach because he got the mentality of the team. He can live up the spirit. He's working on strats, but also he's more also the mental coach, like giving them confidence, what they need, the right words, etc. They also have a psychological trainer, like, who helps them in the mental issues. But this is another deal, probably for another video, like to explain why they are needed. But the thing is, it also always depends if a player fits the role or if a person or individual fits the role as a coach, and how good is he in his way of practicing. Everyone has to have his own concept. For example, I myself, when I would be a coach, I would practice with different games, like start out, okay, let's play some Shootmania, let's play that to show, okay, so how is the hierarchy, what is the player supposed to do, how to learn to communicate, like have a proper communication in game. This is what many teams are doing wrong, but this is like how I would do it. Then I would go out, do real sports, like have a 3v3 soccer game, have a golf game, like how do you guys relax, what do you do in order to do that, how do you advise your team. You have 10 words now to explain how that works, for example. So this is a thing which I would do. There's a lot of different ways to approach things. I would do also team mental games. Like everyone is standing if they are standing in a circle, you have 3 balls, you're throwing around the balls and everyone has to concentrate. Okay, my name is being called, so the ball's coming to me, and everyone like having the ball throw around in circles. There's so much you can do, which is really awesome, but I will go into that in probably a couple of more videos later. But this is a style of what I would do. There's all kinds of styles. There's a God B who does a test. Like there's new players coming and he's writing down a test, so they have a multiple choice test working on to that. So there's a lot you can do. Just calling yourself I'm a coach now and standing behind the team and look awesome, that doesn't work, okay? So please leave the spot to the manager or to anyone who actually is supposed to stand behind them, and not just be you there. It just doesn't work, okay, please. So we have the analytic coach. He's a dedicated person who's watching the replays of the opponents and of your own team to build up a strategy to actively counter the opponent's strategy and to find weaknesses of your own team and own players, like mistakes. Okay, for example, player B is always rotating before he's doing something, and he's losing time by just running around and not knowing what to do. So this is what the analyst will do. He will find out every mistake of a player by watching the videos and VODs there are. He will find it and write it down and give it to the head coach. He will build up strategies against the opponents. He will watch every replay there is of the opponent's team to find out player behavior, to find out player team behavior, like how long does it take for a call to be received. He will watch about the situation that happens and how fast the other team reacts. For example, if you play against the Zizou, it will be instantly transmitted within the team when there's something. So this is what the coach will find out, the analytic coach, the analyst. And it is really hard. His job is really hard in Rainbow Six, for example, because you don't have replays. You just have YouTube VODs and maybe some streams or whatever. So there's a lot of things that the analyst has to do, and he has to go into mental things, why some things happened onto this point of time. He will write down timings, he will write down operator choices, he will write down anything for every round, who did most headshots, who's possibly the impact player, do you have to take out. For example, Continuum knew that they have to take out Astro from Dex Santos, etc, etc. If you go pain gaming, you have to take out Noted. This is what you have to do, this is what the analyst is for. You have the mental coach, the head coach, let's call him head coach. He keeps the team at bay to have the mental stability in the team, that they are not dropping down. He's cheering them up. He yells at them if they have an immature behavior, if they are doing mistakes, that we're not supposed to do. But he also takes care of his choice of words, because there's a lot of different personalities within a team. There's a guy who's completely introverted and who's insulted really fast by just saying, hey, you did a mistake there, and he's completely crying because you told him a direct way that he did a mistake. So he has to be careful about every 5 different players within his team and how he yells at them, or how he actually gives them advices or tasks to do to fulfill. He keeps also the players in a positive level, like he's cheering them up. He gives them a hype when they are losing. He even hypes them and say, come on, this is just one round, keep it up. This is what he does. He knows how to play his role. He has to check out. He has to be the voice of the players also to the management. Like, okay, well, we have an issue with 3 players. They need a better practice surrounding. They have to practice in a boot camp. We have to work on that, because they can be good. They have the potential, but they're good. He also is more also the guy who does the scouting. Like, okay, the player's not good, so he has to be dropped out but replaced by player C, for example. He finds a player and he has to find him. He has to reset him in the team. Like, he has to just fill the hole, which actually from a player who got booted out. So he's also the voice of the players if there is something wrong with the players, whatever. He's so much of a daddy and mommy in the team. He has to do a lot. He has to develop the team. He has to teach the players behavior, like starting up how to be professional, because sometimes those wannabe pros are just not pros. So he has to teach them to when to shut up and when to shout out. This is what he does. Also what the management does. There's a manager also do that, because they have the contracts there and they know when to find them and when it's really being dangerous, that they can be sued. So this is something what you have to watch out. He also tells the players that they're actually employees and not that they have to do their work, and not like just, be divas and bitch around and do anything. So he's really, he's something. He's everything. The head coach is literally everything to put together of information he gets from the management, from the analyst, from all the other coaches, if there are other coaches, or if he's just alone. He has to do even the analytic part with the team together. So there's a lot of things to do. So his work also is more or less a life work. So he prepares a certain amount of work, true, but he also has to react in a game, in a practice situation, onto the players. He has to see, okay, who's good today, who's not good today. He has to bring them up on a life, so he has to have a certain plan, strategy to bring them up to a certain amount of hypeness. Let's call it hypeness. Hashtag hypeness, by the way, you can tweet that to me. Hashtag hypeness. And then he has to keep that and then have them play and then find out the mistakes. He has to be a really live reacting person, which is really hard. And he has to have a very delicate choice of words. Not yelling every time until that, for example, I would not like a coach who's going to me, hey Verdi, you played that bad, you're shit, you're the worst shit of your life. So that would be like really bad, and I would probably leave that TeamSpeak when he yells at me like this. So he has to really find the words, like saying, hey, that was not good. We have to try to put you better into play. Maybe do that and do this. Because there's also choice of words. For example, if you yell at someone, you also have to give him the solution. Not just yelling at someone and saying he's shit. Yeah, well, why was he shit? And what shall he do better in order to not be shit? So this is something you really have to watch out for, but this is more or less even a style of how to discuss. It's a psychological thing in more presentation and proper talking. So what also I want to emphasize is respect the players, respect the coaches. The players sometimes not respect the coaches, and they just drop out, insult them, whatever. No, respect them for what they are, because they're putting a lot of work into. The players are playing the game, and every player can be fucking proud to be at where they are, because it's a dream for them to come true, to work at this point of time. This is what I am myself. I mean, I have a dream coming true. I am a caster, a part-time caster, and this is a dream coming true, and oh my god, I'm so much into that, and I love that the chance have been given to me. But many players are so it was obvious that I am so good and that they are picking me, and yeah, well, it's obvious, and I want a lot of money, and I just want everything in the world and kiss my feet. No, so you have to respect everything, because everything is a team effort, and the coach belongs to the team, same as the organization that is representing you, because the organization gives you the hype on your social media and helps you to develop your own brand. So this is also what the coach does, because the coach actually looks into your way of playing and helps you to develop your play. If the coach does not do the job, also the coach has to listen to the players and say, okay, maybe you're not working with us. So this is why some coaches have been booted out from the team. In soccer, it does happen a lot. And so there's a lot of things which you have to do and which you have to respect for a coach and a player. And they're a living family, because it's a six-number team. You have players 1 to 5 and the coach, and all together have to work. And a coach, in my opinion, every team that has the chance to get a coach, respect them. Every organization, when you get a coach, respect them. Give them something. This is just a shout out to organization, to players, and to the coaches. You're doing great, but also respect each other, okay? So, because sometimes you really see that it's not being done. And I myself respect every coach there is. Agony is doing a great job with playing key dynamics, and I think they can do better, but this is something which they're working on right now. They're doing a great job in practicing. We have Shasudas, who's a very good coach for Penta Sports. He's doing a great job. We have Zizou, who does not have a coach, but they are investing so much time each other. They're just building up so much good things. And there can be a lot of good things. And I think the game will develop to the point of time where you have a coaching role in-game, where coaches can join the game and watch the own team play and give shoutouts and commands, because I think this is where the game should go. As coaches will help develop into every kind of game. And I mean, imagine you have a big stage and the coaches are just shaking hands, because they are the guys with the books, like those notebooks, having all the strats, having all the picks and pans and maps, the numbers written down there, and giving the teams commands, so the teams can more focus on to play and to shoot, in order to think about, okay, those guys have to go there instead, whatever. No, this is what a coach is for, and I think everyone should push to get coaches into the team. And I hope this helped a bit into learning how and why coaches are needed. And I sign off. If you like this stream, please subscribe. If you liked it even more, press the thumbs up. Thank you very much, and have a great Sunday. And I will prepare now for the Latin American Pro League. See ya, and bye-bye.